Hey, this is Sasha, and welcome to another episode here on Let's Talk Stocks. Today, I'm going to share with you the number one stock to trade in and invest in. So let's get started. All right, so before we start, understand that this concept and this video is really created from my latest book called Mindsets of a Master Stock Trader. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, be sure to check out that book, which all talks about psychology. So let's get back into our big question of the number one stock to invest in. And here I have a couple of DVDs to illustrate the example. By the way, those of you who are Canadian or French Canadian may recognize that some of these are in French or the Canadian French version. So in either case, I got 3 DVDs, and which one is the number one? Which one is the best? And I ask you this question because I bet you many of you will pick this one, okay, The Matrix. I bet you many of you will pick this one, The Bourne Identity, and many of you will also pick Ghostbusters. So the thing is there is no number one. The number one is really determined based on you. So for the ones that say, hey, The Matrix, then that is your number one. The ones who say The Bourne Identity, then that is your number one. And the ones who say Ghostbusters, well, then that is your number one. There really is no number one DVD. Now, yes, of course, we have Oscars, we have these awards that, people can win, and all these great, fascinating things where it does seem competitive, like there is a number one. But the reality is there is really no number one to invest in for everybody. It's what's best for you. So I always like to give an example of, buying a car. And if we go in and we start looking at, let me say, hey, I'm interested in buying a car. And the car that I'm interested in buying is, I want to say, hey, let's look up a van. Okay, we got different kinds of vans. Well, the van that you are interested in purchasing, well, is it going to be like this van, or are you better off with a truck? So truck versus van, which one is better? So we'll pull up a truck. Which one is better? Truck versus a van. Well, a van can hold more people. So if you have a huge family, by all means, hey, that's great and fantastic. A van might be better. If you want to haul lumber or a jet ski or a boat, a truck might be better. So for you, it's going to be different. And that's what people don't realize and recognize in the stock market is that, hey, should I get this stock? Should I get that stock? I have no idea whether you should or shouldn't because I don't know you personally. I don't know your risk tolerance. I don't know your risk levels. I don't know how much capital you have. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you got a brother, sister, cousin, uncle, whatever. So the best for you is going to be different than somebody else's. You have to evaluate that decision. Because if you go and walk and approach to a dealership and say, hey, which car should I buy? Well, they're going to ask you, well, how many people do you have? What are you looking for? What's your budget? There's going to be a lot of different questions that go before they answer that question for you. And that's what most people don't get, is that the number one stock to invest in, it's not going to be written on a message board. It's not going to be written on a form. It's not going to be written on a website. It's just that different stocks have this different risk levels depending on your personal situation. So that's what you need to really look into yourself and see, hey, well, what am I looking to do with this stock? Is this going to be part of my short-term portfolio, part of my long-term portfolio? Where does this stock fit in? Or look at it the other way. If I have a portfolio, and let's start here with a fresh, clean slate. If I have a portfolio, and here is my portfolio box, well, I have some room for long-term investments, okay? I have some room for, let's say here could be option trading, and here some room for penny stocks or speculative investments, okay? Well, if you're looking at this and you're starting to say, hey, well, I got a long-term portfolio that's kind of a third full, well, this next thing, what is it that you're looking at? Well, do you want to fill it up further? Well, if you do, hey, by all means, then you continue to fill it up. And if you got a long-term portfolio that's pretty much maxed out, well, chances are the next kind of trade or item that you're looking for or to invest in is probably something more like an option trade, or it could be a penny stock trade. So in that case, what you're looking at, well, if my long-term portfolio is full, well, this could be more part of my speculative play. So then you understand, where does that single trade, where does it go into, right? And that's what you need to recognize and understand, is that where does that trade fit in your bigger scheme portfolio? Because if you got a portfolio that's already, hey, maxed out, well, in that case, maybe you don't need to put on any kind of trade. So if you have 10 vehicles, chances are, hey, you probably don't need another car or another vehicle. So in this case, the same thing. If you got a maxed out long portfolio, if you got a maxed out speculative portfolio, and you have a maxed out option portfolio, well, probably you're not going to put on any kind of trade. You need to understand, hey, where does that trade fit in the bigger picture scheme of things? So anyways, that's what most people don't get and don't understand when it comes to choosing or picking the number one stock. You have to realize, where does it fit for you personally? Is it part of your day trading? Is it part of your swing trading? Is it part of your speculative plays? Where does it go? How is it going to make you money? How long are you going to hold it for? Create a little trading plan or idea around it. Even if it's on a napkin, it's better than just throwing a trade on the whim, because a lot of people, they just want to trade one or two stocks, make a boatload of money, and then close out those trades, and that's it. But they don't have an allocation. They don't have a place where those things fit. And I think it's important for you to recognize and see inside of yourself, where do these trades fit in your bigger picture of investments? So I hope that makes sense and gives you a little bit of things to think about. Anyways, I want to thank you all for being so supportive and for all the great vibes, energy, and comments that you've been sending to me. Thank you. They make my day. They make my world. It's always great to connect with people. Also, if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, go ahead, hit the face icon here. But you can also join the newsletter by clicking the link over here. And that way you can get announcements as we release new training videos, go on live webinars, Q&A sessions, and some great discounts and promotions as they come about. Thank you so much. And remember to do what you love, contribute to other people, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you next time.